Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new video, and this one is a flip through. This is a flip through of my hybrid Canva album that I did for autumn of 2022. So these are all of my little travel, both local and a little bit further away, from early September till right at the end of October, first couple days of November. So all of that is in here. I think all but 3 layouts in here have process videos. So if you haven't seen those, you can go watch them, but you're going to see the finished product here. And I do want to say this is a Life Crafted album. I can't remember the color at the moment, but I freaking love this size album. This is probably my favorite size now. It fits both 3x8 and 4x8, and that's part of the reason I love it. So let's jump in, and I will say all of the layouts in here are 4x8. I just chose to keep them that way because in Canva, 4x8 is a pretty standard template, and so it was easier just to use that size. But you could mix and match. You could do 3x8 as well if you really wanted to. All right, so let's take a look here. So my opening page, I dropped in digital paper, used some old Kelly Perky number stickers here, and I have a lot of this type of ephemera. They're digital files that I print and cut. I have a lot of those that are autumn themed, so I used a lot in here. But it made it really easy because since I had everything already designed in Canva, all I really had to do is print and then just embellish with that stuff, and it was super easy. This is actually one of the quickest albums I've ever put together because of those factors. So here you can see I just did some phrase labels. Again, added some ephemera and die cuts that I had. And I did this by hand, obviously, to check that off. That's it. This one is the first one that didn't have a process video because if you watch my previous videos, you know I had a typo on this one. On the first one I did, I spelled the word perusing wrong. I used a U instead of an E. So I had to have this reprinted. And so I did not do it on camera, but now it's done. I did some stamping here with Stays On ink so that it wouldn't smear because this is a glossy photo here. So it's a slick surface. Just added the embellishments in washi, and that's it. Pretty simple. And then these are actually really simple too. These are just stickers that I had from Creative Memories. And then these were just die cuts. I keep a little container just of miscellaneous floral die cuts because I go to a lot of flower related things in my area. We have a conservatory, we have an arboretum, we have lots of special gardens around, so I tend to use that stuff a lot. So I just took that out and just slapped on whatever worked. And so here I did just an acrylic embellishment. It's kind of hard to see because it's see-through, but it says SEP for September. Some enamel dots, another one of those digital elements. That's it. Really, the heavy lifting was done in Canva, which maybe took me 10 minutes to do this in there. I just dropped in the photos I wanted, made sure the sizing was good. That's it. It's not complicated. Once you learn the basics of Canva, it's really easy. And so here, this was a font in Canva, so I didn't even have to alter anything there. I just dropped it in. Some puffy stickers, again, more little, ephemera and die cut pieces. And got to use some purple, that's always good. And then here I actually did some chipboard. I think these are, it's either Echo Park or Cartabella. I can't remember which is which, but it's from one of those. And then I did some acrylic pieces these are from Bramble Fox. And again, I had the random floral stuff, so why not use it? On this one, because the photos take up most of the page, which is totally fine, I just did some very thin washi, one little strip, that's all it took. And then here's just the divider between the end of this event and then going on a day trip. And then some puffy stickers. Again, these are, again, I can't remember. It's one or the other. Cartabella or it's Echo Park. I have both. And their style's very similar, I feel like. So I can't remember which is which, but that's where they're from. It's in the process videos if you want to see it. And then a chipboard piece here. This was so busy that this is all I needed. And then here, more puffy stickers. Just a little phrase there, October happenings. Then we had lunch, so I had to pull out some food-related stuff. So it wasn't all just autumn stuff that I needed. I did need other things as well. So luckily, I have a good stash of food stuff. So I was able to find things that were appropriate. And again, just some thin washi here. And here, I used a lot of washi, I realized, in this album, because here's some more. I liked this one because it was very sparkly. And I was trying to pull out this color, this sort of aqua teal turquoisey color. And I luckily found a phrase that worked as well, not just the sentiment, but the color as well. And then here, this curve was already part of the template I used in Canva. I didn't even have to like figure out how to make a curve. It was in there. I just enlarged it for the photo that I wanted. And all I did was put on this acrylic piece. So this was a super simple one and hardly took any time at all. This was one that I did off camera. It's just a candy shop that we visited that day. That was actually our last stop of the day. And it's just all Doodlebug stickers. And then this, again, was a font that was already in Canva. So I just dropped it in, changed the words to what I wanted, and it was good to go. And then here is, we went on a weekend scrapbooking retreat. And we go to a town that's like 2 to 2.25 hours away. And they have a lovely mansion up there that has grounds that you can walk on. So in order to give ourselves a break from crafting, we went out and walked around the grounds for a couple hours. And so that's really almost all of what's left, that and then driving around the rest of the town. But it was gorgeous, so I had a lot of layouts from that. So this is where we entered, and these are just more Bramble Fox acrylics, more puffy stickers. And here's some more. I used a lot of those. I think I probably used maybe 3/4 of the sheet that I had, which is great because otherwise it's just sitting in my bin. If it's fall themed, obviously I can only use it really one time a year. So if I can use it for this, that's great. Here's some more washi, some basic stamping. Nothing here is earth-shattering or groundbreaking, but I love the simplicity of it. And really, if I'm honest, I love how fast it came together. I tend to be a slower scrapper in terms of it takes me months to get to my projects. I try to keep things under a year if I can, but that doesn't always work out. But this one went super fast once I started it. Here I did some more just little, ephemera and die cut pieces I had. This was a digital file. I just dropped it in, made it go side to side so that it would fit flush with the 4x8 option. Not difficult. And then this is a digital stamp that I had, so I just dropped that in for my title. A little bit of text. Again, just an ephemera piece. That's it. I mean, I think it looks good, but I feel like I almost cheated. Like I didn't really have to do a whole lot here. So at that point, we left Glen Sheen and just drove around the rest of the town. So this is in Duluth, Minnesota. And there's a lovely park that overlooks the city. And so we decided to go up there and see what the leaves were like. We weren't sure if they'd be good up there or not. They were. There were lots of reds, which was really nice. And there is a Japanese garden as part of it. So we walked around there, which is kind of unusual. So not so much fall themed here. It's more Asian themed. But you know what? Both work. It's fine. And then over here, there's this tower that's also part of that complex. I got a nice shot of that. And again, all I really did was a couple things of washi, some puffy stickers, one epoxy sticker. That's it. So I didn't have to think too hard, which I like. And then this is one of the few layouts I made where I actually wanted both sides to match. A lot of these, or most of these, are really one-pagers. But this one, I wanted to use the same digital paper. So even though this pattern looks like tighter or smaller, this is the exact same digital paper. It's just about the size. That this had to be, longer, so it elongated all of those patterns. Here it's closer together, but everything matches because it's the same color scheme. And then over here, this is a chipboard piece. And then over here is from Colorcast Designs, pretty sure. And I love this. I hope the camera picks it up. Can you see the gold flecks in there? I don't know how they did that. because the kind of pinky purpley reddish parts are also patterned. It's almost like a heathered pattern. But then somehow within that, they also got gold flecks in there. It's one of the coolest pieces they've ever made, and I'm super glad that I bought that one. For these layouts, we were just driving down a place called Skyline Drive. Again, it's near the park where we were, and it's above the city, so you can see Lake Superior beautifully. You can see the lift bridge here in the harbor. It's just a great place to go, especially in the fall when the colors are good. So we thought, if we're up here, we're going to do it. So we drove along there. Again, chipboard phrases. The rest of this work was all done in Canva. Here, just a couple of little pieces, some gems. These aren't enamel dots. They're called gems because they're multi-faceted. Those are from Stampin' Up, by the way. And then here, I just made the photo bigger to fit the slot I wanted. Dropped in a digital phrase, little strip of washi. It's good to go. Nothing astronomically exciting there, but I like the way it looks. And then this is how we ended our day here at sunset. This is inside Jay Cooke State Park, and look at that. It was just a tremendous evening. We just got super lucky that we happened to be there right at sunset. The colors were gorgeous. We were facing the right way. I didn't want to take away from that, so this is all I did. Tiny strip of washi, little ephemera piece, that's it. And now the last part of the album was a day that I did just with one friend of mine. We decided to go to both zoos. There are two in our area, and so we went to the bigger one first and the smaller one second. And so this is kind of like, well, that's not really autumn themed, but it was part of our autumn adventures. So it goes in here. And there were some autumn parts to it later, as you'll see. But this is one now that I did not do a process video for. So I said there were a few. This would be one of them. But this didn't really take much either. All of this, the writing and dropping this in, all done in Canva. So I just dropped these little pieces on, again, washi here and here. I felt good using all the washi that I did in this album because I feel sometimes like I sort of forget about it and I don't use it enough, and I have a ton of washi. So this makes me feel good to figure out ways that I can incorporate it, especially in something like this where I just need minimal embellishment. This was also on the grounds of the larger zoo. They have a thing that's the Jack-o'-lantern Spectacular. I have been to it before, but I did not do it in 2022. So these are the only pictures I have from that. They were in daytime. So, but I thought they're Halloween-y and autumn themed, so I'll put them in there. And just phrases and ephemera. These are actually the same piece. I just cut off the top and used it here. Super easy. And then here, these are pieces of digital paper that I dropped in Canva before this was printed. So really, these are the only things I added. So again, I almost feel like I'm cheating because it didn't take a lot of work, but I think it still looks good. And then this is at the smaller zoo, and they had all these seal statues because the seals are kind of a big deal there. And I loved the circular element to it, so I dropped those in Canva. This is all I added. Again, washi, phrase, that's it. And then over here, washi, again, surprise. And then I had put these two digital paper spots in there, but I didn't really know what I was going to do with them when I did it. Originally, I did not think of doing wood veneer there, but it just so happened that I had a couple of pieces that I thought mimicked the type of flowers I was seeing. So I thought, well, what the heck? What else am I going to do with them? So I put them in there. And then the final page, and I purposely used the same paper so that these would match. So the opening and the closing, same style, same digital paper. All I did was add this. That's it. So super simple. And I love this album. I guarantee I will be doing more layouts like this in Canva and using albums like this because it just really streamlines stuff and really speeds things up. So I don't feel like I need to have 9 projects at a time, because I can actually get to them and get them done faster. So if you like the look of this, I really encourage you to give using Canva a try. And then you're not giving up all the physical stuff that you love, because you're still able to use the embellishments that you already have in your stash. So that's it for this album. Thanks for watching.